Hello friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. How are you? Most complimented videos are a very popular topic, and for good reason. For a lot of people out there, probably the majority of people, the reason that they wear fragrances is because they want to boost their own confidence, they want to smell good to other people, and they want to get a little positive attention from other people. And compliments kind of just takes all of that, all of those ideas and lumps it into an easily digestible format. Compliments. And that's what we're talking about here today. 10 different fragrances that will help you get more compliments than ever before. I'm going to start with fragrances that are on the sweeter, warmer side of things, and then transition into fragrances that are fresher, livelier, and brisker. So we've got a little bit of everything here: fall and winter, spring and summer, daytime, nighttime. Let's jump into it and check them out. And guys, I will have these linked in the description below. Feel free to check them out down there. And the PSA that you always have to do when you're talking compliments. A fragrance is not guaranteed to get you a compliment. And most compliments that you get are probably gonna be from people you know. Coworkers, friends, loved ones, etc. Now, depending on your personality, what you're doing, where you're going, you may have a higher likelihood of getting compliments from people you don't know than other people. It just depends. Like if you're a bartender, for example, you're gonna be coming into contact with a lot more people. You have a higher likelihood of getting a compliment from someone you don't know. If you work from home for a call center, probably not gonna get as many compliments from people you don't know as the bartender. And I do want to tell you guys once again that if you shop Maxaroma or twistedlily.com, Gents10, 10% off your order. Soulavantgarde.com, the code Ashton20, 20% off your order. And until the end of June, the code Gents2023, 10% off your order at luckyscent.com. So a lot of codes there. All right, let's jump into it. We're gonna kick things off with a Dior Sauvage. Now, realistically, any Dior Sauvage can get you a lot of compliments. The Eau de Toilette, the Eau de Parfum, and yes, the Parfum, as well as Sauvage Elixir, but the one we're going to talk about here, Sauvage Parfum. Essentially a more sophisticated, elegant take on the DNA that was established with Dior Sauvage Eau de Toilette. It is a massive compliment puller, very good performance, lasts a long time, projects quite well. You've got citrus in here, clean lavender, and a nice warm kind of amber woody base with a touch of incense wafting throughout. It's going to be an extremely wearable fragrance for just about anybody out there, any age range, doesn't really matter. You can pull Sauvage Parfum off. So during fall and winter time, both day and night, this will have you smelling absolutely fantastic, and people love this fragrance, this whole line. From there, let's move on to a fragrance that is sweeter and is going to be a little bit more youthful than Sauvage Parfum. Viktor & Rolf Spice Bomb Infrared. It's a spicy fragrance, of course, because it is named Spice Bomb and has kind of a cinnamon candy-like sweetness to it off the top. And with this being infrared, they do try to work in a lot of notes here that are red notes, like red berries, saffron, pimento pepper, chili pepper. It has that whole vibe going on, but it is still a very wearable fragrance. Again, extremely versatile, very modern. And it's bold as well. It's gonna make your presence known. It has good performance like you would expect from a Spice Bomb. From there, let's hop on over to Stronger With You. Absolutely, from Emporio Armani. Can't wait for the next one. Stronger With You, for sure. Or Stronger With You, no doubt. Just in case that wasn't really obvious, that was sarcasm. But if they do come out with something called Stronger With You, no doubt, I think my brain would actually just shut down. So this one is gonna have that Stronger With You DNA in here, just like Sauvage Parfum has the Sauvage DNA. You can tell this is a Stronger With You. It's not one of those flankers that does something completely different. No. This takes the best things of Stronger With You, that warmth, that gourmand feel to it, and improves upon it. Gives it a nice rum note, so it gets this boozy sweetness off the top and into the dry down. Absolutely perfect for making a lasting impression, a first impression, just an impression in general. Stronger With You absolutely is one of those fragrances that in the cooler months is a standout and is one of the best out there right now in the designer realm. Now a newer fragrance from Paco Rabanne, Invictus Victory Elixir. Now it does become apparent to me that Paco Rabanne is trying to reinvent the Invictus line a little bit. For the longest time, it was Invictus. Invictus was Invictus, right? You knew what you were getting, that bubblegum kind of sweetness, that freshness, that mass appeal, kind of a youthful flair to it. That was Invictus. Invictus, Invictus Aqua, Invictus Legend, Invictus Intense, like that was Invictus, right? But at least in the United States, as of last year, there is not a single Invictus fragrance in the top 20 best-selling men's fragrances. Again, in the US. And so to me, and maybe I'm wrong here, but to me, it looks like Paco Rabanne is wanting to kind of take the Invictus line in different directions. So you get Invictus Victory, you get Invictus Platinum, and now Victory Elixir. Now they do say that this one has intense freshness. That's not exactly how I would describe it. Do you get like a little freshness off the top? Yeah, sure. Yeah, you know, it helps lead you into the dry down, which is a common thing in men's fragrances. Nothing wrong with that. But really, this is about the vanilla, the sweetness in there, a little bit of a, you know, spicy woodiness to it. I think it's awesome. Love the way it smells. Extremely people-pleasing. Big compliment puller, great performance. Cooler months. This stuff is fantastic. And then the last warm, sweet fragrance, the last fall, wintertime, evening kind of fragrance, Mercedes-Benz Club Black. Big hype beast. If you've been around fragrances at all, if you've watched videos, if you've read anything, then you've heard about this at some point, I'm sure. Now, when you look at it, if you've never smelled it, it maybe looks a little cheap because got a plastic cover thrown over top the glass bottle in the middle here. Of course, it is a Mercedes-Benz fragrance, and some people are gonna question that, a car brand making fragrances. But it's one of the best vanilla-forward designer fragrances that is currently on the market. And when you can get this from discounters for about 50 bucks, awesome deal. I wouldn't pay like 80. I've seen it go for that before. I wouldn't do that, but anything around $50 and less, this is gonna be a standout. Okay, let's move over to the fresher fragrances. The first one is from the house of Mind Games. Now this is a house that I had seen for a minute because their fragrances are based around chess, like different chess moves, and then they have basically chess pieces as the caps. First one that I've owned from the house though, and it's called Blockade. So this one has been compared to Creed's Aventus. And when I smelled it first, I kinda get what people are talking about there, but this is not a one-to-one with Creed's Aventus. Like this is no more a one-to-one with Creed Aventus than Mancera Cedrat Boisé is, for example. When you smell it, especially in the opening, can you go, oh, there's a little bit of an Aventus type flavor there? Yeah, sure, a little bit, but it's its own thing. This is one thing that happens with fragrances in general, is that people always love to tie a fragrance into another fragrance. So if you get a fragrance in, for example, like if somebody's the first person to get a fragrance in, and it reminds them a little bit, like one piece of the fragrance of another fragrance, they'll say, this reminds me of that. And then what ends up happening, it's like human nature, people will go into it trying to find a similarity to that other fragrance that people have already mentioned it smells like. And you end up with a lot of parrots going like, oh yeah, it's the same, guys. I just smelled it. It is the same. And then you smell them side by side and you're like, what? No. Same family style. I actually had my wife smell that one. She had no idea that people had said it smells like Aventus, and I was like, does this remind you of anything? Because she's a huge fan of Aventus, and she was like, no. I was like, what about Aventus? And she just hit me with some side eye, like, not really, no. So from my perspective, I get it a little bit, but no, I know I keep hammering it, but not the same. It has this great opening, just friggin' awesome to me. It's got green mango in there. It's sweet. It's a little tropical, very zingy. You know, it has this great sparkle to it. Just very lively. I freaking love the opening of this. One of my favorite openings of any fragrance that I've smelled for at least a couple years. And as it dries down, it still stays very nice, very wearable. It's extremely versatile. It maintains that freshness, even though in the dry down it has like leather and amber and oud. It's a great scent. Really enjoy it. A much more affordable one up next, Missoni Wade. Obviously an aquatic fragrance, if you couldn't tell by the color and the name. It's also very vibrant, clean, fresh, easy to wear. Nice fruits in here, citrus notes. It's basically a scent that you can pull off whenever you want in spring and summertime. Office safe, great casually. I think you could wear this on a date as well. And of course, a little bit similar to Chanel Allure Homme Sport and Versace Pour Homme. And the price point that you can pick this up for, great buy. Now this next fragrance, I would say the most overlooked fragrance here, easily. It's not crazy cheap, but you can get it for a pretty good price at discounters. It's from Lacoste, L1212 French Panache Pour Lui. Yeah, this one. Oh man, fingerprint magnet. Oof. Lemon, apple, and patchouli, another fragrance that's just clean, fresh, sweet, so easy to wear. And I know I say this a lot, but I will say it once again. If you're looking for compliments, that's really where you need to focus. If that's the only thing you care about, fresh fragrances, sweet fragrances, and oftentimes a marriage of the two. Like if you're wearing a fragrance that's really heavy in fecal oud, and you're looking for compliments from just average people, you're looking in the wrong place. So this will accomplish the simple goals of being fresh and sweet. Has a little bit of a creamy aspect to it. The performance is not amazing. It doesn't project really heavily. It doesn't last a super long time. But if you spray this on with some authority, spray on a good amount of it, this will work wonders at pulling compliments. For that matter, a lot of Lacoste fragrances will. Let's move over to yet another blue bottle, Dolce & Gabbana's K Eau de Parfum. Now, I'm not a massive fan of K Eau de Toilette. I don't particularly like it that much, especially compared to the competition. When you put that up against all the other big blue fragrances in the designer realm, I'm not in love with K EDT. But the EDP version, I actually think is a lot better. Basically does everything that K Eau de Toilette does, but better. Blood orange, lavender, and patchouli, some of the notes in the fragrance. It is more elegant, more grown up, more mature than the Eau de Toilette, but it still maintains the versatility, the wearability, and still younger people can pull this off, even though it is a more grown up version of the original. So K Eau de Parfum, absolutely worth checking out, and another big compliment puller. All right, last fragrance, this one from Ormond Jane. It's Montebaco Verano. This is a top-notch blue fragrance, a niche blue fragrance. And actually, a lot of times I would choose personally to wear Montebaco Verano over something like Elysium from Roger Parfum. Not that there's anything wrong with that fragrance, because I like that one too. Keeping with Ormond Jane's typical style, it has a little bit of an aroma chemical flair to it, but extremely pleasant. It has a great airiness to it, a very modern woodiness in the dry down here, and then an attention-grabbing opening that just really sings. Sparkly, effervescent, and has a citrusy pop that just jumps off your skin. So Montebaco Verano gonna end this list, another one that during the high heat months is a stunner. So there we go, guys. 5 fragrances that are on the warmer side, 5 on the fresher side. All of these compliment beasts. Thank you for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.